dive headfirst into the intriguing realm of the ancient Roman Empire, where power and wisdom walked hand in hand under the rule of the magnificent Marcus Aurelius. Reigning from 161 to 180 AD, Marcus was no ordinary leader. He was the last of the 5 good emperors, a philosopher king who ruled not with brute force, but with the enlightened principles of Stoic philosophy. In an era of grandeur and conquest, he chose the path of mindfulness, self-control, and reverence, truly embodying the strength of character and Stoic wisdom. His lessons were his legacy, and today they offer us invaluable guidance on one of life's most challenging tasks, dealing with difficult people. Marcus penned his thoughts, struggles, and solutions in a remarkable collection of autobiographical works, the Meditations. His thoughtful reflections provide a unique portal into his mind, and more importantly, his strategies for handling difficult individuals that crossed his path. 1. Marcus Aurelius advises setting realistic expectations for dealing with people. In the morning, remind yourself that the individuals you interact with will likely possess qualities such as meddling, ingratitude, arrogance, dishonesty, jealousy, and surliness. Stoicism, as a practical philosophy, encourages seeing people as they are, rather than as we desire them to be. Despite his own self-control and discipline, Marcus Aurelius utilized negative visualization as part of his morning routine to align his expectations. Each day, he mentally prepared himself for potential encounters with difficult or abrasive individuals, ensuring he was equipped to handle them. This practice does not promote negative thoughts about others, but rather serves as a means to remain prepared when they inevitably cross your path. Consider a scenario where your boss unexpectedly confronts you in front of colleagues, criticizing a mistake in your report or accusing you of something you may or may not have done. Naturally, you may feel embarrassed, demotivated, and angry. Now envision the same situation, but this time your colleague warns you about your boss's bad mood beforehand. Armed with this knowledge, you double-check your report before submission. Even if your boss still reprimands you for a potential error, you will be startled, but not to the same extent, because you were already aware of what to expect. Your expectations greatly impact your emotional response, and by regularly reminding yourself that challenging individuals can emerge at any moment, their presence will no longer startle you as much, enabling you to handle them more effectively. Difficult people are an inevitable part of life, so it's crucial to anticipate their existence. 2. The ultimate revenge is to be unlike the one who committed the injustice. Long before Disney princesses, Marcus Aurelius was already teaching his followers the value of not seeking revenge. Responding to rudeness or insults with further offense and insult only lowers oneself to their level and validates their unpleasant behavior. Instead, he advises us to take the higher ground and approach such situations with virtue and logic. Despite our meticulous planning and preparations, things often go awry, and we cannot control what happens to us or around us. Even with our best efforts, we may not receive a promotion, encounter traffic during our commute, have a viral video, or fall ill. These are circumstances beyond our control. People, too, are no different. Their words and actions are external events that we cannot control. Whether at work or in social settings, we inevitably encounter difficult individuals. Some may cut in line. Others may lie and take credit for our work or humiliate us in public. While we cannot control most of what they say or do, we often allow their insults to affect us long after the incident has passed, sometimes for days, weeks, months, or even a lifetime. Our responses may be driven by resentment, anger, or a desire for revenge. However, according to the Stoics, seeking vengeance is a futile endeavor that ultimately brings more harm than good. They would counsel us not to take things too personally. If someone mistreats us, it is because they are unaware in that moment. Their actions may be intentional or unintentional. If unintentional, it is pointless to waste our time and energy on their negligence. If intentional, it reflects a flaw in their character, and we cannot control how others behave. The only thing we can control is our own response to their behavior. So, the next time we experience rudeness or someone insults us, we should ask ourselves how we have truly been harmed by it. For example, if someone mocks our appearance and calls us ugly, we should question whether the opinion of such a person truly matters. What are the actual consequences if they continue to call us ugly? The only consequences exist in our own minds, and if they are within our control, they cannot harm us. Aurelius teaches us to resist the urge to respond with resentment and instead learn to let go. 3. We were born to work together like feet, hands, and eyes, like the two rows of teeth, upper and lower. To obstruct each other is unnatural. To feel anger at someone, to turn your back on him, these are obstructions. According to Aurelius, we all have a common bond in our human existence. Each of us faces difficult emotions, experiences devastating events, and encounters daily stress. While our lives and lifestyles may differ, there are aspects in which we are all the same. None of us are exempt from pain, illness, loss, and death. As inherently social beings, we possess evolutionary mechanisms that promote and encourage cooperation. That is why it is crucial to treat everyone with kindness and compassion, regardless of their difficulty. When faced with shameless or challenging individuals, Marcus would ask himself, is a world without shamelessness possible? No. Then don't ask the impossible. There have to be shameless people in the world. This is one of them. We understand that encountering problematic individuals is inevitable in life. However, Marcus advises us not to interpret the actions of these difficult and abrasive people as a personal attack. Instead, we should attribute their behavior to ignorance. They behave poorly because they lack the knowledge that we possess. When someone says or does something that you consider wrong, it is based on your own understanding and wisdom. It is unlikely that someone without the same information or wisdom would reach the same conclusions about what is right or wrong. For example, if someone continuously mocks your weight and calls you fat, it may be because they don't perceive body shaming as a negative thing and believe they are being helpful or motivational. Your upset stems from the belief that it is unkind, affecting your confidence, while they may be unaware of how it truly affects you. It is crucial to recognize that, like everyone else, we can also be ignorant. Consider how often you act or speak with the intention of upsetting or hurting others, or how many times you engage in baiting or taunting others. Understanding this, you will realize that in most cases, someone being irritating or troublesome is not their intention. Therefore, when interacting with family, friends, colleagues, or strangers, treat them with kindness. Remind yourself of our shared humanity and that you may not know what the other person is going through. Strive to be present and compassionate in your social interactions, which will strengthen your relationships and deepen your appreciation for others. In rare instances where someone intends to hurt you, you can always choose to control your own thoughts and actions. If someone seeks to dampen your spirit, you can choose to let it pass by adhering to your own morals and values. 4. Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one. According to Aurelius, our character is defined not by what we say, but by what we do. People are profoundly influenced by our actions rather than our words. The impact of our actions speaks so loudly that it drowns out our words. Therefore, if we desire to influence others, we should demonstrate through our actions rather than merely telling them. It is common for us to scrutinize the faults of others after unpleasant interactions. We often find ourselves complaining about coworkers, spouses, friends, or toxic relationships without taking any action. We wait for the other person to initiate change. However, we must realize that issues in our relationships worsen when left unaddressed. It is crucial to take action and confront the problem promptly. Start by reflecting on your own behavior that may be triggering the other person's response. Consider whether your ego prevents you from taking action or engaging in a confrontation. Instead of talking about each other, it is necessary to engage in open communication with one another. If you wish to improve yourself and those around you, avoid merely dictating how others should behave. Instead, focus on cultivating virtues within yourself and expressing them through your actions. By doing so, you will inspire others and encourage them to become better individuals. In this process, you will contribute to making life a little better for yourself and those around you. 5. If you envy what you don't have, you'll never be free. Free, independent, imperturbable. Because you'll always be envious and jealous, afraid that people might come and take it all away from you. According to Stoicism, there are 4 passions that contribute to our misery: distress, fear, lust, and delight. Envy and jealousy, a form of distress, consume us and cloud our rationality. The intense passion of envy, desiring what others possess or feeling resentful of their success, can cause great pain and distress. However, Marcus Aurelius reminds us that true happiness lies within ourselves, not in acquiring what others have. We alone are responsible for fulfilling our own lives. By envying the possessions or achievements of others, we place our happiness in the hands of others, which is both misguided and futile. We waste significant amounts of time scrolling through social media, comparing ourselves to the carefully curated photos of our friends, and feeling miserable about the seemingly successful lives everyone else appears to be living. Envy is a complex combination of emotions that arises when we desire the success, skills, or qualities possessed by others. When envy permeates a relationship, it can lead to tension and conflict. The Stoics teach us that all the blessings in our lives are temporary gifts from fortune, which must be returned eventually. Therefore, while some individuals may currently possess the success, relationships, or fame that we covet, they could lose everything tomorrow. We have no insight into the plans fortune has in store for them. The more they have, the greater the risk of loss. Money, fame, and power are impermanent and beyond our control. Instead of comparing our situation to that of others, we should compare ourselves to who we were yesterday. This way, we continually strive to become the individuals we aspire to be, cultivating genuine happiness and fulfillment.